Let's now get back into further details of the various delegation processes. So, as previously explained, there's two different ways to trigger the delegation from a PSP to an RVM: the standard registration and the simplified registration. In the standard registration, the PSP has to log in to the EDS and perform the delegation by themselves. The process there is that the PSP EDS user creates its own Sui.com user linked to its own PSP institution BIC. By having its Sui.com user account and by being listed in the registry of participants, that PSP EDS user be both authenticated and authorized to log into the EDS GUI. Within the EDS GUI, the PSP EDS user will have access to the screen that allows them to delegate the EDS activities to an RVM. Once that is done, the PSP does not have to interact with the EDS anymore, and all actions can be taken by the RVM. So from the RVM point of view, the RVM needs to have an EDS user that creates its own Sui.com user linked to its own RVM institution BIC. From there, the RVM EDS user has access to the EDS GUI and has the ability to submit the EDS API registration form. For the simplified registration process, all activities will be connected by the RVM. So it's a simplified registration from the point of view of the PSP. It is a little bit more complicated from the point of view of the RVM. So for the RVM, what needs to happen is that the RVM EDS user email needs to be listed in the registry of participants. And that particular individual needs to have a Sui.com user associated to the EPC institution BIC. And only that particular individual, that particular user, will have access to the EDS GUI and will have access to trigger the delegation from the PSP institution to the RVM institution. Once the delegation is set up, then all users of the RVM will be able to act on behalf of the PSP in the EDS.
Let's now look at how the delegation happens in the web GUI. As already explained, we have a standard and a simplified registration for an RVM. But in both cases, the delegation will happen in the same screen of the web GUI. I play now the role of a participant BIC. And he wants to do a standard delegation to an RVM. And to do this, he has to go to the tab Proxy Delegation. To add a delegation, please click on New Record. You will see that scheme is pre-filled for verification of PE. You can select the RVM to whom you want to delegate. Let's select Banfico. And you can choose the delegation type, like full read and write access or only reader access. Let's take the full access. You click Save. And now the delegation has been added to the screen. Now you can also edit or delete the delegation. Edit, you can modify the record or delete. The delegation will be deleted. The RVM will be able to manage the data on behalf of the participant BIC. In case of a simplified registration, the RVM is linked to the EPC BIC, and he can also do the delegation in this screen. This is all about the delegation.